Part 24. Shenhao, My Fiancée is a Villain Female CEO. Author, Floating Like Sand. Chapter 231. Chen Luo nodded, and said, "Okay, Mom, be careful on the road." Su Lian waved her hand, threw away the bowl and chopsticks, picked up her things in a hurry, called the driver and headed to Su Group. Chen Luo was eating calmly in the restaurant. Nothing in this world could excite him. Life is no fun. Ding. Luck value add 10. Villain value add 3000. Congratulations to the host, the script of The Most Powerful Son-in-Law is 90% complete. On the other side, Zhang Chen was making a call on his mobile phone when he suddenly heard the system prompt. He was stunned for a moment, and then showed a meaningful smile. "Mr. Zhang, thank you for providing us with the clues to the major shareholders. Don't worry, as long as I win over the Su family, I will immediately start in-depth cooperation and exchanges with Tiancheng Technology." On the other end of the phone, a manly voice sounded. Zhang Chen tapped his fingers lightly on the table and said with a smile, "Manager Su is too polite. I also wish Manager Su a smooth success in assuming the position of chairman." Manager Su smiled heartily, "Ha ha ha, let me borrow Mr. Jiang's auspicious words and let's have a chat next time we meet. I'll prepare for the shareholders meeting first." "Okay," Zhang Chen responded. "Su family. Easy. As long as Su Feng does this job well, then Chen Luo can get the remaining 10 points of luck, and his trip to the Demon City will be a perfect ending." Zhang Chen provided Su Feng with the secrets of Su Group's major shareholders and some small shareholders. Of course, these secrets were discovered in the original work by Chen Luo in order to find out the bugs for his mother's company, and he used the power he established. But now, Zhang Chen was used to deal with Chen Luo. But it's not free. The Su Group is worth tens of billions. Zhang Chen asked Su Feng to cooperate with the Tiancheng Group after he became the chairman, and a building would be built at his expense. As for the Zhu family, Zhang Chen had already arranged for him to negotiate with Yedu and some suppliers from the Zhu family. No supplies are allowed to be provided to the Zhu family. Then Zhang became the next building material, and Su Feng raised 20% to purchase it, and gave them the opportunity to cooperate with the Su family. As for the Zhong family, he relies on. With Zhong Ji and her Neptune father Zhong Shujao, they will naturally help her complete it. Zhang Chen leaned against the sofa, took a nap, and then left. In a private room of a hotel in Yedu, a group of building materials suppliers sat bored at the dining table, chatting with the CEOs of other companies around them. "What's going on with the Zhu family? They asked us to come over to discuss things, but they didn't come themselves. 15% is the limit he can bear." The chopsticks on the table were not even moved. It turned out that the food had been served long ago. Seeing this scene, Zhu Gang wanted to get angry. These people had always tried to please him before, but now they were playing this trick with him. After finding a seat in front of the dining table and sitting down, Zhu Gang immediately said, "Everyone, let's not talk secretly. I know that you have a lot of stuff in your hands." Zhu Gang walked in with a flattering smile on his face, a briefcase under his arm, and a suit and leather shoes. Zhu Gang smiled and said, sorry, there was a traffic jam on the way here. My heart is bleeding." He really has no choice now. There is only 1 day left before the delivery time given by Tiancheng. He has collected goods from many retail stores in the past few days, but he can only collect less than a quarter. Immediately, the huge box was emptied. Got laughed at? While everyone was laughing, the box door was pushed open. "Manager Zhang is here? Okay, I'll go back right away." "I'll go back now." "You wait first and show him the supply list." Zhu Gang sneered in his heart, what a coincidence. Everyone is booked by big business. This sentence immediately aroused the sympathy of many supplier bosses in the box, and they all laughed heartily. As soon as he entered the door, Zhu Gang attracted the attention of everyone in the box. Upon hearing this, everyone fell silent. Some drank tea, some played with their mobile phones, all of them were absent-minded. "Mr. Zhu, this is a bit slow." "Me too, Mr. Zhu, let's go first." "Hee hee. That's right. How long have we been waiting for you to arrive now? It doesn't make sense." "Yes, if they can't ask for it at any time, I will definitely give it to you without saying anything. It's over." But when he thought about the price of liquidated damages, Zhu Gang endured it again and gritted his teeth and said, 20%. "If I don't make any money this time, I will give it all to you." "Ha ha ha ha, Mr. Zhang is absolutely right. Mr. Zhu, my boss wants the goods. I have to go back and arrange for manpower to deliver the goods." "Oh, Mr. Zhu, if you have a lot, don't make things difficult for us. Not all the goods we small households store are for big companies." But this group of people still didn't move. Every boss looked around and didn't reply to his words. "If you give it out, the net profit you can get from this order is only 100 million. Everyone had left, leaving only the pale Zhu Gang, sitting slumped on the chair. "Hello? What? The other party wants the goods? Okay, you can arrange to send the goods right away. And in this box, there are all bosses from the Demon City who have a lot of ready goods. Who knows, maybe they want to give us a kick. As long as you give me all the goods, I can accept them at a 10% premium." One by one, they pretended to take out their mobile phones and said to themselves. Holding back the anger in his heart, Zhu Gang looked around and said solemnly, "Everyone, if you give me a nice word, I will increase the price by 15%. Shenhao, my fiancée is a villain female CEO." Author, Floating Like Sand. Chapter 232. The Zhu family is completely finished this time. Zhu Gang's face turned horribly pale, as if he had lost his soul. He kept repeating one sentence in his mouth. Here in the demon capital, it seems that someone wants to kill him completely. He didn't even have to think about it, it must have been done by Chen Luo. But, how did he know that I signed a big order for a large amount of building materials? Who leaked the news? The next day, Zhu's company received news that it had failed to perform the contract on time and would pay Tiancheng Technology a huge amount of compensation. 5 times, that's 5 billion. Although Longguo does not have specific standards for liquidated damages, compensation for breach of contract can be concluded based on negotiation between the two parties. With a lawyer present to witness and reiterate, the Zhu family needs to compensate 5 times the amount of the signed agreement. So, this is a reasonable and legal contract. Faced with such huge compensation, the Zhu family simply cannot afford it. Even if a large part of it is reduced, it is still bankrupt. This news immediately caused an uproar in the Yeadu business community. A large company with over 100 million yuan collapsed like this? No warning. In the Zhu family villa, Zhu Gang was paralyzed with a pale face, and Zhu Ming's eyes were extremely desperate. After a few days of highlight moments. Did he fall down in the end? "Dad, Zhu Ming said weakly, his voice hoarse. "Can we escape?" Zhu Gang heard this and laughed miserably. "Escape? Where are you escaping to? Maid country?" More than 300 million yuan in property was frozen and various restrictions were implemented almost instantly. If he were to say that no one was up to something here, he wouldn't believe it even to death. "If it weren't for that bitch, how could we have ended up like this?" Zhu Ming gritted his teeth with great hatred. Upon hearing this, Zhu Gang jumped up immediately. He came to the sofa, grabbed Zhu Ming's neck, and started beating him like crazy. "You have the nerve to talk while riding a horse. If it weren't for you, a fool, we would have ended up like this." Suddenly, there were screams from the Zhu family villa. Not long after, people from the court suddenly came to Zhu's house and sealed the villa. At the same time, that afternoon, another big news completely stirred up the upper-class society in the Demon City. Su Lian, chairman of Su Group, was convened at a shareholders' meeting and kicked out of the company. The reason was not disclosed. At the same time, shareholders with more than 10% of the shares jointly recommended the former group manager Su Feng as the new group director. The chairman of such a large group was suddenly dismissed, which was unexpected by everyone. In Su Lian's villa, Su Lian looked like a madman. Countless pieces of A4 paper were scattered in the lobby of the villa, each piece of extremely important information. Ah! Damn thing! Why should my Su family's group want others to interfere? Chen Luo sat on the sofa and looked at his crazy mother calmly, the calm look on his face never changed. I have looked down upon all this. When you are tired and tired, you are tired. After a long time, Chen Luo saw that his mother was still roaring unwillingly, so he comforted her, Mom, instead of dwelling on the past that cannot be changed, it is better to smile and cherish the future. Su Lian's eyes were red and she stared at Chen Luo with a look that wanted to eat someone. Damn it! You! Say it again, Su Lian suppressed. Chen Luo shrugged helplessly and said, Mom, it's all over. At least we haven't lost our shares. It's not bad to get dividends every year. Su Lian's eyes trembled, and she suddenly lost her expectations for this precious son. Buzz. Luck value -10. Chen Luo's body trembled and he couldn't help but frown. This feeling came again. What exactly was lost? Without thinking too much, he continued to watch the news on TV, about the interview with Su Feng, the new chairman of Su Group. Ding! Chen Luo's luck value is -10. Villain value add 5,000. Congratulations to the host for completing the script The Strongest Son-in-Law of a Rich Family, with a mission rating of SSS. Received a villain gift pack *1. The next script Shenhao starts by rewarding female anchors has been completed and the mission location is Magic City. The progress of the new script has reached 15%. Host, please be ready. In my mind, the system beep sounded again. Zhang Cheng stretched out. He was tired of staying in Demon City and it was not challenging at all. It would be more comfortable to return to Demon City's home court. Open the villain gift bag. The villain gift pack has been opened successfully. Congratulations to the host for receiving the reward, 2050 Future Hydrogen Energy Vehicle Technology 1, Habit Training Device 1. Zhang Cheng couldn't help but be stunned when he saw the rewards given by the system. Habit Training Device. Habit Training Device, after use, it can develop daily habits for the host to form perfect good habits, such as physical exercise. Zhang Cheng smiled, you can't stand my leisure, can you? With the habit cultivator, after developing good habits, isn't it the same as taking the perfect route? It looks a bit awesome. Putting away the system interface, Zhang Cheng stood up from the sofa. The mission is over, it's time to say goodbye to our little lovers. Today, the plot of Demon City has completely come to an end. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Shenhao, my fiancée is a villain female CEO. Author, Floating Like Sand. Chapter 233. You want to go back to the Magic City. Are you leaving so soon? Chen Yingxiu was a little reluctant. Zhang Chengneng can make himself happy from time to time, and the tension at work every day has been eliminated a lot. Zhang Cheng stroked her slightly wavy hair and said with a smile, well, here in Yeadu, the company is supported by those two people. For now, there is not a big problem. Freely travel between reality and here. Otherwise. As if it's not even a month. Just wait, one day it will come. Chen Yingxiu said reluctantly, You have only been here for a while. Very dangerous. This is the reason why he wants to go back, and at the same time, he also wants to integrate the major families in the Demon City. Only by establishing yourself as the number one so that no one has any desire to resist can we truly sit firmly on the Diaotai. By completing a script here in the Demon City and creating a technology company with a market value of over 1 trillion in the future, Zhang Cheng has achieved his goal. Chen Yingxiu looked at him without blinking, and then sighed, okay, then remember to come back and see me often. If he wants to build a production line for hydrogen energy vehicles, Guangdong province is undoubtedly the most suitable. It has a large population flow and is open to global trade. It can be regarded as an important strategic location for the business empire. She did the math. Had Zhang Cheng been in Demon City for a month? After all, the two of them are now considered strategic partners, so they can't just forget about it. Zhang Cheng's words have another meaning, that is, return to reality. Hearing this, Zhang Cheng grinned, what are you thinking about? There's nothing we can do about it. There's been some problems over there recently, and there's a new project to start, so we have to finish it. A wry smile appeared on Zhang Cheng's face. It's not that I won't come back, it's just that something happened in Demon City, so I have to go back. Demon City will definitely continue to develop in the future. Moreover, there are currently 2 commercial projects on hand, which must be completed as soon as possible. So for my own sake, I can only keep fighting monsters and leveling up. Zhang Cheng nodded lightly, I will definitely be happy if you are here. Zhang Cheng was right. Okay, I'll go to the Magic City to find you when I have time. Chen Yingxiu narrowed her eyes slightly and said with a smile. Otherwise, just with these little fights now, they don't even have the strength to make trouble in the Dragon Kingdom. After all, it's all about making money, you can't just let it go. One is the graphene battery pack technology obtained at the beginning, and the other is the hydrogen energy vehicle technology obtained yesterday after completing the script of the most powerful son-in-law. Zhang Cheng sighed and said quietly, there are still many things to do in the Magic City. The people under me don't know what to do. The headquarters must be set up in the Magic City, after all, that's where he is. Only by eliminating all dangers can you live a stable life. If you want to build your own business empire, you must seize the new trends so that you can have the confidence to face the world. With his current status as a villain, he might offend people just by walking on the road. Not to mention that there is a system that arranges new wireless novel plots for itself all day long. Once you ignore it, you will solve the Son of Destiny in 2 plot worlds by yourself. If you give the Son of Destiny a success later, you will inevitably be liquidated. Each of these 2 technologies is worth hundreds of billions of dragon coins. They are both money. Chen Yingxiu can help her company a lot here, and the 2 of them will have many interactions in the future. Something happened in Demon City, so I'm anxious to go back and deal with it, but I will come to Demon City to see you often. Shenhao, my fiancée is a villain female CEO. Author, Floating Like Sand. Chapter 234. Zhang Cheng stayed with Chen Yingxiu for a day before calling Zhongzhi out. The 2 of them stayed together like glue for a whole day. It wasn't until noon that Zhongzhi said goodbye to Zhang Cheng reluctantly and then left the villa. Because now he is also the president. Zhongzhi couldn't take out time to stay with him at any time. She had to turn down many projects and meetings to get this day's time. Little liar, don't mess around with women when you return to the devil's capital, be romantic and happy, and then forget about me. Zhang Cheng smiled slightly, pinched his waist that was so full that he couldn't hold it, and said, how can I forget you? I will never be able to in this life. That's good, I'll go back first. Zhongzhi covered her mouth and chuckled, waved, then got into the car and drove away. Zhang Cheng stood outside the villa and watched her leave. After the tail lights were no longer visible, he returned to the villa, took a shower, and walked to another villa. If you don't take a shower, a woman's extremely sensitive sense of smell will definitely detect abnormalities. Zhang Lai, pack your things and go back to the Magic City. As soon as he entered the villa, Zhang Cheng shouted at the top of his voice. At this point, Zhang Lai, as an internet-addicted girl, must still be sleeping. Sure enough, when no one responded, Zhang Cheng walked up to the second floor and came to the master bedroom. When he opened the door, he saw Zhang Lai still sleeping in the bed. A meaningful smile appeared on Zhang Cheng's lips. Then he unbuttoned his suit, closed the door gently, and got into the bed again. The speed of the action is unimaginable. Zhang Cheng just got into bed. Although Zhang Lai was a good internet addict, she had only slept for 5 hours, and she suddenly felt something unusual. Someone attacked me with a weapon. Zhang Lai's eyes suddenly opened, his sharp gaze bloomed, and he grasped the sneak attack weapon behind him with his left hand. Hiss, be gentle, be gentle. Be gentle. Zhang Cheng was shocked. A drop of cold sweat instantly overflowed from his forehead, and he took a deep breath. Zhang Lai was stunned when he heard the familiar voice. Then he let out a very high decibel cry, "Ah! What are you doing?" Zhang Lai got up from the bed angrily and pointed at him. Zhang Cheng gritted his teeth at this moment. "What are you doing? I just hugged you and you did this to me. It was so cruel. I just wanted to hold her and catch some sleep. Who knew she was so cruel?" She immediately grabbed her tightly through her pants and wanted to pull her out. Too cruel. A trace of cold sweat broke out from his forehead. Pain. It really hurts. Although my physical fitness is already very high, it is also very fragile where it should be fragile. Seeing that he didn't seem to be pretending, Zhang Lai calmed down and showed a hint of apology in his eyes. How did I know it was so sudden? This person walks around and opens every door without making a sound. Where have you been, and why did you come back 2 days ago? Zhang Lai quickly changed the subject and said angrily. Let yourself stay at home alone and play games every day. If this continues, I will really become an internet-addicted girl. Apart from eating every day, the rest of the time is spent either watching TV shows or playing various online games. I went to the next city to negotiate for land. It will definitely be difficult to build a large factory in Yeodu. The only way is to go to other provinces. Although he didn't go there himself, he sent someone to go. As a villain, if you have to do everything personally, you should just let your subordinates do it. Otherwise, why would you support him yourself? Therefore, the glorious task of looking at the venue was left to Mo Rongpeng to complete. After hearing Zhang Cheng's explanation, Zhang Lai stopped asking further questions. Oh! With a cry, Zhang Lai returned to bed, covered himself with a quilt, and prepared to sleep for a while longer. I played games too late last night, so I need to catch up on some sleep. But as soon as she lay down, Zhang Cheng, who was beside her, came up to her dishonestly. What are you doing? Zhang Lai was a little unhappy and very sleepy. Zhang Cheng nibbled her delicate earlobe and said softly, I'm not doing anything, I'm just telling you that we will go back to the Magic City today. Zhang Lai was a little surprised. Can he go home? Very good. It's really boring here. Zhang Cheng also said he would bring him over to play, but he only played for a day or two, and then nothing happened. Wait, what are you doing? Suddenly, Zhang Lai felt something was wrong and said quickly. What else can I do? I haven't seen you for so many days. I miss you, Zhang Cheng said confidently. That's not what Zhang Lai asked, he said angrily, I mean what are you doing to my ears? They are very sensitive. Not to mention it was okay, but once he did, Zhang Cheng realized that he was holding a beautiful woman in his arms, and his delicate body was trembling slightly. Feeling the changes in her, Zhang Cheng was happy. So, he blew hot air into her delicate little ears, and Zhang Lai suddenly trembled. Zhang Cheng repeated what he did to Chen Yingxiu to Zhang Lai. However, this time, while the battle was going on, Zhang Cheng suddenly asked, "Zhang Lai, I want to ask you something." After Zhang Lai entered the state and saw him whining, he could only ask, "What's the matter?" "I want to ask." Zhang Cheng paused, then smiled mysteriously and said, "Do you want to try to see if your knees can touch your shoulders?" Shenhao, My Fiancée is a Villain Female CEO. Author, Floating Like Sand. Chapter 235. After the battle, Zhang Lai's face was rosy and shiny. Zhang Cheng cleaned up the mess and finally said, "Go, take a shower, then pack your things and go back to the Magic City." Zhang Lai frowned slightly and said softly, "I'll sleep a little longer, I'm so tired." It was too much tossing. From knees touching shoulders, to all sorts of shameless gestures. I wonder where the great liar learned this from. It feels so skilled, not like an innocent man at all. Etc. That's right, when he talks about love, it's like honey, it's so sweet. Definitely not an innocent person. He is definitely a veteran, I just don't know where he learned it. Seeing this, Zhang Cheng could only put down the tissue, walked to the bed, and slapped his peach butt vigorously. Snapped. Suddenly, Zhang Lai exclaimed and looked at him angrily, "What are you doing?" "I'm very tired." "Do you think everyone is you?" "This is my first time." "It's my first time." Zhang Cheng didn't reply to her. He picked her up from the bed and walked to the bathroom. As he walked, he said, "You can sleep after you finish washing. You can sleep on the plane. It takes at least 2 hours to get to the Magic City from here, and there will be a lot of time when you get back." After a while, in the bathroom, under the mist, two hazy figures gradually overlapped together, and Zhang Lai's sweet voice faintly spread out. After taking a shower, the two of them dried their hair and packed their bags. After locking the door of the villa, the two of them went to the garage, drove the Porsche out, loaded up their luggage, and then drove out of the villa area toward Yeadukayun Airport. After completing a series of procedures, the two finally boarded the private plane. At 7 o'clock in the evening, the private plane circled and landed at the Magic City Airport. After leaving the airport, Zhang Cheng said, "Okay, the person arranged by your mother is over there. You can go back and come to me when you have time. Learn more knowledge during this time at home, and I will take you to other places in the future." Zhang Cheng will not raise his woman to be a person who knows nothing. What he has to do is to train them into independent elites. Even if something happens to him, they can still protect his business empire. If you want to give them an upright status, you still have to work hard. Last but not least, I want to be the first person in this world to be extremely wealthy and powerful. Every step of the company's layout is made after his careful calculation. Including holographic military-style equipment, this is his first step in contacting high-level officials. Well, I understand. I will study seriously with my mother when I go back. Zhang Lai nodded his head and responded. After this internet addiction incident, she also understood that she must have her own way. Zhang Cheng took out his mobile phone in the car and opened Wuxin. Lao Li drove the car away and followed Zhang Cheng's instructions to pick him up on time at noon tomorrow. After replying to her, Zhang Cheng shouted to Lao Li, "Send me to Su Yao's villa." Buzz. Really? I'll go back early tonight. The familiar smell of smoke flowed down his throat and into his lungs, stimulating his nerves and calming his mind. After coming back to his senses, Zhang Cheng took out the cigarette case that he had not opened for a long time from his backpack. And, although both of them are in the Magic City, they don't just see each other whenever they want. They are both busy. "Okay, master." Not long after the message was sent, Su Yao replied to him. "A little too handsome." "No. I miss you so much." Then he found Su Yao and sent her a message, "I'm back." Before he could finish speaking, Su Yao's cherry mouth was already kissing her. He took one out, lit it, and started smoking. P.S. The first 2 chapters were changed to vomit blood, and Wan cannot escape today, but for the rest, everyone will read it when you get up tomorrow morning. It's too late, please give me a gift to comfort you. 3 updates every day at noon and 4 updates in the evening. Every woman passing by was stunned. Looking at her reply, Zhang Cheng smiled slightly. Su Yao was the first person he fell in love with when he came to the plot world, and it was also the reason why he decided to stay in this world. More or less, the first time is always unforgettable. After dinner. Old Li, go back to the villa. Zhang Cheng stepped onto the Rolls-Royce Phantom and said to the driver in the driver's seat. After waving goodbye to Zhang Cheng, Zhang Li sat back in his Bentley, and the driver quickly drove away. There is no polygamy system in the Dragon Kingdom now. Lao Li looks quite old. He has worked for the Zhang family for nearly 10 years and used to call him young master. Zhang Cheng put his hands in his trousers pockets and watched her leave. As soon as he entered the door, he saw Su Yao standing in front of him, wearing a black women's professional suit. Smoke spurted out, and Zhang Cheng's picturesque face was filled with smoke, revealing a sense of beauty. Otherwise it would just be a vase, and she didn't want that. Zhang Cheng rummaged in his backpack, found the key to Su Yao's villa among a bunch of keys, opened it, and walked in. Call. After standing there for a long time, Zhang Cheng walked to another place. That was his former driver, who had been hired by him as early as when he went to the Song family cocktail party. What if the fish suddenly bump into each other? Soon, Zhang Cheng got off the car at Su Yao Villa. The two looked at each other, and after a while, they smiled in unison. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Shenhao, My Fiancée is a Villain Female CEO. Author, Floating Like Sand. Chapter 236. After warming up, the two of them took a shower and went out to the living room. Sitting on the sofa, Zhang Cheng poured 2 cups of tea, and then asked, how was the dispute between your company and the Song group during my absence? There is no doubt that the Su family and the Song family are mortal enemies. Both families are in a state where they want to blow each other's brains out. Even for the company founded by Su Yao's parents in the United States, Song Yiwei's parents came over to fight for it. Their condition there is even worse than in the Demon City. Even if you don't make any money by doing this, you will destroy the other party, but you won't be able to do business with peace of mind. Mentioning this, Su Yao's face was filled with a smile. Well, fortunately, I have swallowed up a lot of Song's business. Now their market value has evaporated by a quarter, and they are about to fall out of the 100 billion group. Since the cooperation between Tiancheng Group and Su Group, some undecided companies have turned to Su Group. No reason, because Su Group and Tiancheng Group have huge potential. Especially in the past few days, Tiancheng Technology, a company worth hundreds of billions that has emerged in Yeadu, is the same actual controlling shareholder as Tiancheng Group. So this factor determines the attitude of most people. It's a bit difficult for others to find out Zhang Cheng's identity. After all, Zhang Cheng used some connections to cover it up. If it were exposed all at once, it would arouse the hostility of many people. He owns 2 companies worth hundreds of billions and is still so young. If he doesn't have the ability to protect himself, he will be easily targeted. But this does not mean that Zhang Cheng is afraid, it just feels that there is no need to show too much. After holding an important company again, he will not be afraid of his identity being exposed. Because it is an important enterprise, Longguo officials will take good care of it. Zhang Cheng nodded slightly and said with a smile, that's good. When I come back this time, I will clean up the magic city. There is always a pack of weak old wolves hiding in this place, waiting to bite you when you are weak. Zhang Cheng wants to break this deadlock. Otherwise, like the Zhang group, If there is any problem, a group of old wolves with little strength will immediately rush up, kill you by various means, and then divide your flesh. Su Yao nodded gently. She now fully believes that Zhang Cheng has the ability to do it. With $2 billion groups alone, he is the well-deserved richest man in the Magic City. As for those rich lists on the market, they are pure nonsense. None of the $800 billion families in Magic City were selected. This is an unspoken rule and only shows the wealth of some people. According to Zhang Cheng's understanding of the Magic City, there are at least 10 families with hundreds of billions hidden in this place. If there are more than 10 billion, there are more than 50 families, and if there are more than 2 billion, there are more than 10 families. This is just the level of a magical city. There are many other real first-tier cities in the Dragon Kingdom, and some places even surpass the magical city. After hearing his words, Zhang Cheng suddenly became interested. When he saw the emperor's name floating on the screen in the live broadcast room, he immediately smiled. Back in the Magic City, there are a lot of things to arrange. We came to a famous tea house in Shanghai. Don't be immersed in beauty. Qin Ming didn't say anything and directly raised the phone in front of Zhang Cheng. Yes, Su Yao nodded. Arriving in the private room, the three of them immediately sat down. Zhang Cheng was not polite, took the cigarette, lit it and took a puff, showing off his old smoking attitude. At the beginning, he was more or less afraid, but later, he gradually discovered that it was not particularly difficult to operate, so Zhang Cheng let go of his frivolous thoughts and started doing his own thing arrogantly. Well, the rocket hasn't stopped yet. Zhang Cheng was startled for a moment, then smiled and said, Mr. Su, let's take a look. I'll go back with you when I have time. Interesting story, Su Yao thought for a while and shook her head slowly. Zhang Cheng glanced at the two of them, and then asked, what were you two laughing at the door just now? After Zhang Cheng called out Lu Feng, he then notified Qin Ming separately, and the three of them rushed to a tea house. Go out to eat or not? In Su Yao's small villa, Zhang Cheng cooked a meal for Su Yao. After the two of them finished eating, Zhang Cheng went out. All she cares about is her own Su group. P.S. Some novel scripts are written by the young authors themselves, not from any books. Don't think that they are stepping on other authors' books. Qin Ming smiled and took out his cigarettes and gave him one. Big white feather. Hey, I've been waiting for you for about 10 minutes, and it's finally here. A live broadcast software. In the live broadcast room of one of my female anchors, a rich man rewarded her with 8 million yuan. By the way, my grandpa asked you if you have time to come over for a meal. Let's go and chat in the tea house. Not to mention, he almost forgot that Shenhao existed. Isn't this the name of that fake god? No. At the door of the tea house, Zhang Cheng saw Lu Feng and Qin Ming, standing arm in arm smoking at the door. The three of them walked in, and immediately a sharp-eyed waiter came up and took the three of them to an elegant luxury private room. By the way, has anything interesting happened to these demons? Zhang Cheng thought about it and suddenly asked. The two of them were chatting and suddenly laughed obscenely. Good. No. I want to eat what you made. Why are you two talking so happily? Zhang Cheng walked over and said with a faint smile. Since taking back Jiang's villa, Zhang Cheng no longer thinks about relying on Su. Shenhao, my fiancée is a villain female CEO. Author, Floating Like Sand. Chapter 237. Big White Feather. In fact, it is the name of the false god Hao Yao. The first time Zhang Cheng saw this nickname, he recognized it immediately. Looking at the excited expression of the female anchor on the screen, Zhang Cheng smiled slightly and then returned the phone to Qin Ming. When did this rich man appear and where did he come from? He spent millions at once. Qin Ming took back his mobile phone, closed the live broadcast page, and replied, 10 days ago, a small white account suddenly appeared on Shark Live, and he rewarded 6.66 million on the first day. At first, I gave rewards to those beautiful anchors, and then I started visiting some women's live broadcast rooms every day. Anyway, this guy likes to have female anchors call him Big Brother. Speaking of this, Qin Ming couldn't help laughing. Actually, spending tens of millions on a live broadcast, we all feel a bit dissatisfied with the money, but it's just like burning money. A reward of tens of millions is not a big amount to him. But for those who play live broadcast, it is worth too much money. It is basically the income of a medium-sized anchor for several years. Recently, this guy paid a lot of money to break open the legs of a female anchor in a guild I play in, so I paid attention to him. And judging by how aggressive this person is, his worth is probably not too low. Hearing Qin Ming's explanation, Zhang Cheng smiled lightly. This is the trick of the fake god. First, he uses the virtual amount given by the system to spend money in the live broadcast room, creating a very rich look. In the end, I was pulled into a small group by some people to get to know this rich person. During the conversation between the three of them, the tea house waiter brought tea and snacks. After finishing this and exiting, the three of them continued their conversation. I'm going to find someone to set up a car company during this time. Zhang Cheng took a sip of tea and said to the two of them. Hearing this, Qin Ming and Lu Feng were shocked. Qin Ming even said directly, "You want to play in the automobile manufacturing industry? Are you crazy? Cars cost a lot of money. Without a large amount of R&D funds invested, you can't even build one." Zhang Cheng glanced at him and said calmly, "I have complete new energy vehicle technology in my hands. Do you think I will do something that I am not sure about now?" Qin Ming thought about it and it seemed right. "And I said before that I will give your dad a grade to help him further his career." Qin Ming couldn't help but grin. "You finally remembered. I have fully mature technology for hydrogen energy vehicles. I just need to get some benefits in Shanghai. You ask your dad to come over and talk about it? If it succeeds, this achievement will be recorded and it will be enough for him to move up. Of course, you can use your own name to invest in the shares, 3%. Buzz. From the beginning of design, it takes at least 3 or 4 years. You definitely can't make money alone, and you don't have a lot of ability, but you can just take the big head by yourself." Drag racing? Since Zhang Cheng is confident and they are only responsible for these things, they are naturally very active. But Zhang Cheng has ready-made technology. He only needs to do a good job in the assembly line. Basically, he can achieve output quickly. The speed is fast enough, and it can be completed by the end of the year. It can be regarded as an escort. This company's market capitalization does not have a market value of hundreds of billions of dollars, so it can't stand up to this technology. This guy has been with me for a long time, so I can trust him to handle many things, and I won't treat my younger brother badly. Excited? After explaining to Qin Ming, Zhang Cheng looked at Lu Feng with an earnest look. They said they were going to have a drag race. When Lu Feng saw him looking at him, he immediately said, "Brother Cheng, what about me? What about me?" As for the remaining bulk, Zhang Cheng must have kept it in his arms. Excluding the diversified shares after the listing, what he can get will be a terrifying number. The percentage points given to them are enough to earn tens of billions. Okay, they both replied in unison. The fake Shenhao has already received the Pagani Zonda and God-level driving skills as rewards from the system. Once your own hydrogen energy car company and graphene battery pack are established, once the two technologies are released, they will be complete versions, which are future technologies. Gotta learn to learn. Hearing this sentence, Zhang Cheng couldn't help but feel a little strange. Those who are deceived are all kinds of rich second generation and bosses with tens of billions of net worth. This time it was not that Zhang Cheng gave less. Car manufacturing is not something that can be completed in a few months, it will take at least a year or two to bear fruit. The premise is that the procedures are complete. Qin Ming picked up his phone and looked at the message and said, "Nothing's wrong. They said they made an appointment with the rich man on Shark Live. It is said that he is from a hidden family in the Magic City." Suddenly, Qin Ming's mobile phone placed on the table vibrated, and several people stopped talking for an instant. "Tomorrow you find suitable talents, or dig out executives from major automobile manufacturing industries, and I will organize them as soon as possible," Zhang Cheng said in a deep voice after feeding the two sweet dates. "What can be brought out is at best a sample, something to fool the public first." Zhang Cheng thought about it for a long time and decided to share some of the hydrogen energy vehicle technology with Qin Ming. Binding the Qin family to him, and having an official person covering him, would give him the green light to do many things. Just take a look at how Yayu, the fake god, deceives others. After reading the operations in the novel, Zhang Cheng felt that the fake Shenhao could deceive people much better than himself. "Is it finally my turn?" Zhang Cheng smiled slightly and took a sip of tea. "Don't worry, your benefit will be indispensable this time, 2%. Zhang Cheng laughed playfully, and then said, "Go ahead, I haven't played with a car in a long time." Shenhao, My Fiancee is a Villain Female CEO. Author, Floating Like Sand. Chapter 238. After receiving Zhang Cheng's reply, Qin Ming replied to their group of rich second-generation people. "Okay, Lu Feng, Zhang Cheng and I will be there tomorrow night." When the small group saw the news about Qin Ming, there was silence for a while, and then a group of people suddenly appeared. "Damn it, Mr. Qin, Mr. Zhang is here too. Awesome, awesome. If that's the case, I'll go take a look tomorrow. I want to see it too. This is the first time for Mr. Zhang to hang out with rich second-generation people like us. It would be disrespectful not to attend, so I will go too." A group of people rushed out. Zhang Cheng's reputation has now spread to a small area in the upper circles of the Magic City. It is said that Tiancheng Group has a large stake. This alone is enough to make them flock to make friends. Because Zhang Cheng went bankrupt before, many people in this group blocked Zhang Cheng, and some even kicked Zhang Cheng out of the group chat. The family background is not that good, so I must quickly find Zhang Cheng to gain some favorability. Otherwise, if people pursue it, not many people in this magical city can survive. Somewhere in the Magic City, Bai Fei frowned slightly and murmured, "Zhang Cheng, is he also coming to join in the fun?" Maybe he knows Yayu. He was the one who organized this racing party, including the local tycoon Yayu, whom he met first. Because he himself is also a shareholder of Shark Live. He still knows a lot of these rich people. So he no longer hesitated, liked two people in the group, and then sent another message in the group. "Anyone who wants to come will gather at the international circuit at 10 o'clock tomorrow night." Seeing that the time and place were confirmed, Qin Ming stopped paying attention to the group and turned off his phone. "Going back to the topic just now, if you want to set up an automobile company, I happen to have a batch of suitable candidates on the list. When the time comes, I will recruit them one by one." Zhang Cheng nodded and said, "Well, okay, I'll leave this matter to you. I have the new energy vehicle technology 30 years from now. During this period, I just need to find a suitable company and build the machine, and it's basically done. The rest of the procedures are all up to Qin Ming." Zhang Cheng was still a little excited when he thought about mastering this technology, and his worth might reach 1 trillion. Nowadays, the so-called giants in China are actually worth only a few hundred billion. Most of the money earned by companies that exceed trillions of dollars has been made by foreign consortiums, leaving only a very small part in their own countries. But Zhang Cheng is different. Everything he has must be in the hands of his own people. By the way, fake Shenhao system can also reward him with a lot of shares in foreign companies. Do you want to fatten up a little before killing him? Zhang Cheng felt something in his heart. he was a little tempted to kill the fat pig and realize his dream of becoming the world's richest man in this world as soon as possible. But I'm also afraid that I'll wake him up too much and I'll get a headache if I can't suppress it. Therefore, Jiang Cheng endured the pain and did not raise too much fat. Okay, let's continue discussing the next arrangements. In the tea house, the three of them returned to the lively atmosphere and discussed various beginnings. Jiang Cheng was ready to take advantage of this opportunity to get in touch with people in his official career. On the other side, in a tiny rental house, the young man with messy hair had his eyes shining and he was looking at the screen of his mobile phone with excitement. Ha 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 ha. Finally finished. Yeah, you picked up the bucket of instant noodles next to the computer and took a quick sip of the noodles. It's great. I spent another 10 million to go out. Congratulations to the host, you have successfully consumed 10 million virtual currencies. 1 million dragon coins have been transferred to the host's bank account. Please check in Yayu's mind, a cold and emotionless mechanical voice sounded. Yayu quickly put down the bucket of noodles, picked up his mobile phone and opened the bank app. After seeing his balance, he smiled happily. The deposit exceeds 10 million. Yayu said with emotion, it turns out that making money is so easy, and I have received a lot of rewards these days. Pagani, God-level car skills, 10 apartments in the school district, and a cash reward of 10 million. As he kept counting, Yayu felt a little carried away. Delightful. By the way, they said they wanted me to go racing. It just happened. I'll go tomorrow night. Suddenly, someone called Yayu. Seeing the contact person, Yayu couldn't help but smile, and answered, hello. Cousin. Come pick me up at the Magic City Airport, I'm here, a rather delicate voice rang from the phone. Yayu heard this voice and immediately said, okay, I'll be there right away. After saying that, he climbed up from his messy bed, found some clothes and shoes to put on, then picked up the car keys and went downstairs. He lives in an old-fashioned residential building, and the monthly rent here is only 1,500 yuan. Originally, he could hardly afford to pay, but 10 days ago, Yayu suddenly activated the Shenhao system. As long as he rewards online anchors or does anything, he can get 10:1 cash back on the amount spent. The daily quota is 10 million. This turned him on. When he came downstairs, in the corner of the residential building, a ferocious monster made of carbon fiber, the Pagani Zonda, was parked quietly. Yayu walked forward and saw two girls sitting in his car taking pictures. He stopped and watched their performance with interest. Wow, Xiaofang, hurry up and take a picture for me. And here. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Shenhao, my fiancée is a villain female CEO. Author, Floating Like Sand. Chapter 239. Two girls with average looks, dressed coolly, with short skirts lifted from time to time. Taking photos with Pagani Zonda. All kinds of sexy moves are happening one after another, as if this is their car. When they were about to step on the front of their car, Yayu, who was watching their performance from a distance, immediately stepped forward and shouted, you two, if you step on the front of the car like this, will the car be damaged? When the girl named Xiaofang heard this, she immediately stopped taking pictures and said with a look of disdain, what does it have to do with you? This is our car. What qualifications do you, a poor loser, have to force Lai here? After saying that, she shouted again, Zai, hurry up and stand still. I'll record another video for you. Our video will be available tonight, and our number of fans will definitely increase by tens of thousands. Hearing her words, Yayu had a playful expression on his face and walked forward. Just as he was about to put his hand on the car door handle, a white hand suddenly grabbed his arm. Yayu looked up and saw the woman named Xiaofang with an angry look on her face. What are you doing, poor loser? Can you afford to pay for damaging my car? If you damage my car, you, a poor loser, will never be able to compensate you in this life. Before Xiaofang finished speaking, under her dull and horrified gaze, Yu slowly took out his car key and pressed the unlock button. The Pagani flashed twice. Yu had a faint sneer on his face. You said this is your car. After saying that, he shook off the woman's hand, opened the car door and walked in. Yu got into the car and honked the horn twice. The woman on the front of the car immediately reacted and quickly climbed out of the car. Handsome guy, how about adding me on WeChat? We are both free tonight. The two of them came back to their senses, and Xiaofang immediately lay on the window of Yu's car, licking her face and saying, "Sorry, I'm not interested in eating foundation." Yu glanced at them and said coldly, "Vulgar powder. I'm not even interested in playing with both of them." Boom boom boom. After saying that, Yu stepped on the accelerator, and the Pagani Zonda suddenly roared twice and drove out of the parking space angrily. After driving a certain distance, a look of excitement slowly appeared on Yu's handsome face. "It's great. It's so great. Is this a slap in the face of a gold digger? It's great to have money. Although you have to spend virtual credits every day to get 1/10 of the real money, it would be nice if you don't tip to anyone. This way they won't be able to get rich, so they have to register for every website. 10 live streaming websites, each with a fixed quota of 1 million per day, and each of them will reward 20 or 30 people. Well, that's it. Wow. Cousin, is this your car? Did you win the lottery?" Wang Yuxin said excitedly. Yu drove the car into the parking lot and followed the signs to the airport pickup port. P.S. There are 3 more chapters tonight. Eat some food before typing. She had just returned from vacation and was a student at the Shanghai School of Finance and Economics. She had taken a long leave of absence due to family matters. As soon as he entered, Yu saw his cousin. Although the rich second generation are uneducated and idle all day long, their fathers are actually business elites. Suddenly, Wang Yuxin's smile froze. "By the way, cousin, how much does this car cost?" Wang Yuxin spread her legs and trotted towards him. When she came to Yu, she immediately said with disgust, "Hey, cousin, you haven't been out for a long time. You smell like you. After making some friends, you can play with them. Shouldn't we take the airport bus?" Before we knew it, we arrived at the Magic City airport. When Wang Yuxin heard someone calling her, she quickly turned around and said with a smile, "Cousin. Just back to school now." When Wang Yuxin heard this, she could only follow him to the parking lot. "Speaking of which, I haven't gone out for 10 days, and everyone is sitting in the rental house pretending to be cool and chatting. Because although I have money now, if I want money to make money, I still have to make friends with the second generation rich people in Shanghai." Yu did not reply to her, but took her to his Pagani car, took out the key from his slacks, and pressed the unlock button. Yu's face turned red at that moment. "Anyway, a fixed income of 1 million a day is enough for me to do a lot of things." Wang Yuxin believed it and said with a smile, "I knew my cousin was the best. Hurry up, I haven't been in a sports car yet." Yu calmly sat in the driver's seat and said in a very calm tone, "Not much, just over 30 million. Wang Yuxin wears twin ponytails, is 1.6 meters tall, and wears a JK uniform. She looks pretty good." Looking at his little cousin who had never seen the world, Yu smiled proudly, "Your cousin, I succeeded in starting a business, and now I am a man with a net worth of over 100 million. You are not a big person, but you have a lot to do. Stop talking nonsense and leave quickly. I will take you to have a meal and then take you to play in the Magic City for a few days." Wang Yuxin. "This way," Yu waved to her and called her over. As he spoke, Yu held his head high and looked like a somewhat successful person. but before that, I still have to continue to create my own heroic identity on Shark Live. Yu murmured to himself after making up his mind about the future. Suddenly, Wang Yuxin's mouth opened wide enough to fit an egg into it. 3,000, more than 10,000. Start with a little cousin, a perfect choice to shock passers-by. See what investment options they have. Cousin, what are you doing in the parking lot? Wang Yuxin was a little confused. Yu has already begun to plan his true path to greatness. It is inevitable to have a smell on your body. Shenhao, my fiancée is a villain female CEO. Author, Floating Like Sand. Chapter 240. Look, is this human language? Just over 30 million. More than 30 million is enough for an ordinary person to earn for several lifetimes. Wang Yuxin felt that she and cousin Yu had nothing in common. Is this the world of rich people? Wang Yuxin didn't speak after Yu said something back. Pagani roars through Shanghai. Until the next morning. Zhang Cheng returned to Tiancheng Group headquarters. As soon as he entered the building, everyone he met along the way would bow to him and greet him with utmost respect. Good morning, Mr. Zhang. Hello, Mr. Zhang. Mr. Zhang. Although Zhang Cheng is not in the company, he is well known. Zhang Cheng smiled at them and nodded gently, then took the president's exclusive elevator to the top floor of Tiancheng Group's headquarters. The entire second floor of the top floor is the president's office, and the top floor is the chairman's office. That was left to him. Arriving at Zhou Hao's office, Zhang Cheng walked straight in without knocking. Looking at Zhou Hao, who was sitting in front of him and handling matters seriously, Zhang Cheng's lips curled up slightly. It seemed that in the past month, he had been allowed to operate independently, and there was a lot of room for improvement. Now it has become quite majestic. How's the project going? The sudden sound startled Zhou Hao, who was immersed in work. When he looked up, he saw Zhang Cheng standing in front of him at some point. Zhou Hao stood up quickly and said respectfully, Mr. Zhang. Sit down. Zhang Cheng waved his hand, indicating for him to continue. Zhou Hao paused and then said, in this month, the Tiancheng real estate project has started, and all aspects are proceeding in an orderly manner as expected. In addition, according to Mr. Jiang's original request, we have begun to build a building in an important area. Speaking of this, Zhou Hao was suddenly filled with longing and said seriously, according to the design drawings provided by Mr. Jiang, this future Tiancheng headquarters will cover an area of 100,000 square meters and is expected to cost more than 15 billion. It will also be the most futuristic corporate office building. Looking at Zhou Hao's expression, Zhang Cheng smiled slightly, not surprised. When he was in Demon City, he provided a future environmentally friendly building that could be exchanged for 4,000 villain points, and it was equipped with the most complete intelligence system and management system. Includes energy regeneration function. The entire building will have their own power supply. Of course, all this is kept secret from the outside world, and even those who build it need to sign a confidentiality agreement. There are many good things in the system mall, but they are also very expensive. Zhang Chengdu didn't dare to go to the system mall without gathering more wool from the Son of Luck. It was too expensive. Well, try to build it successfully as soon as possible. Zhang Cheng nodded slightly. Suddenly, with a thought in his heart, Zhang Cheng opened the long-lost system mall. Nuclear wastewater treatment device *1, worth 15,000 villain points. Space mining machine *1, worth 60,000 villain points. A new silicone doll that looks like a real person *1, worth 1,000 villain points. 2,222 multifunctional construction robot *1, worth 1,000 villain points. After Zhang Cheng saw the system mall, he always had an unrealistic feeling. Are these things asking me to play space hegemony? Now the richest man in the world has not taken it seriously. He wants to play in space and wants a bicycle? After shaking his head, Zhang Cheng exchanged the fourth product that was refreshed today, a multifunctional construction robot, worth 1,000 each. Zhang Cheng was now considered a man who was not short of money, so he exchanged 5 of them directly. Put it in the backpack. It only took a few seconds after he exited the system space. From the outside, Zhou Hao felt that Zhang Cheng was distracted. Tomorrow you send 5 robots to your father-in-law's construction company. Hearing Zhang Cheng's words, Zhou Hao couldn't help but be stunned, and then said, "What robot?" Zhang Cheng explained, "A secret research laboratory under my banner has developed a construction robot. A robot is equivalent to an all-round work type. It can work 24 hours a day and can do the work of 10 people." Hearing this, Zhou Hao was shocked. Damn it! This is a bit of hardcore science fiction, right? I would like to ask Mr. Zhang, how do you explain it in terms of energy? However, he had a strong desire to survive and did not ask. If he continued to ask, it would not be good for anyone. Looking at his reaction, Zhang Cheng also understood Zhou Hao's problem. He is indeed very abrupt, but this building really needs to be built quickly so that he can form a better scientific research team to do things for himself. Although decentralized companies can maximize benefits, one problem is that it is difficult to centralize power. So, create a new building, merge all the companies, bring them together, and redistribute the equity. No matter what he does, he must hold more than 90% of the equity. The remaining ones are used to distribute profits to others. It seems that the problem is more serious now, Zhang Cheng thought to himself. Longuo will not sit back and watch a company with too much capital, but, as long as it does not go public, it will be fine. Zhang Cheng carefully calculated the industries he had developed and the industries to be developed, and suddenly found that he had all laid out the plans and was qualified to negotiate some conditions with Longuo. The holograms and Tiancheng real estate that have been developed, hydrogen energy vehicles, and graphene battery packs that are to be launched already have a large business empire module. So, under Zhou Hao's frightened eyes, Zhang Cheng's smile became brighter and brighter, even a little penetrating.